This is for me is slow fashion in difference to fast fashion, where you buy something just to buy it, to use it once and then throw it away or twice. If you buy something and it essentially lasts forever, let's say, as long as it's physically possible, that's slow fashion. You don't buy it for fashion. Let's say you buy it that you have something to wear which looks nice.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're gonna talk about slow fashion and fast fashion. Dr. Timo, can you define slow fashion in 30 seconds?
30 seconds. Okay, that's difficult. So slow fashion is about if you buy something and it essentially lasts forever, let's say, as long as it's physically possible. That's slow fashion. You don't buy it for fashion. Let's say you buy it that you have something to wear which looks nice. This is for me is slow fashion in difference to fast fashion, where you buy something just to buy it, to use it once and then throw it away or twice. That's fast fashion. So slow fashion
30
is
seconds.
Opposite. Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah. So fast fashion is if you buy something and just wear it once. So it's a thing in Germany for very cheap stores. I don't know the names. They are very cheap. They cost 1 or 2 euros or something, and that people wear it once and then throw it away. That's fast fashion. So they say, okay, I wear it. And you cannot wear it more than once or twice because otherwise it will fall down. So it has no real value, let's say. And the problem here is, of course, the waste produced with these kinds of habits.
It is very interesting because for me, I think I'm the oldest. And next will be Timo, and Helen is too young to understand what is fast fashion, what is slow fashion, because in her generation, only fast fashion.
So that's what made me confused.
Fast fashion. I think H&M is the leader of fast fashion.
Right. In Germany, it was not when I was young. It was still not existing. And normally the articles were quite expensive, but the fashion was not changing that fast. So if you buy a suit, for example, the suit has to last for essentially forever, let's say. So it was in the changing time there. You could also buy a suit every few years, but if you bought it, you have 2 or 3 suits or something, and you use them again and again, and you can use them because they have that high quality. But then a lot of manufacturing went to Asia, and I think gets very cheap. At the beginning, I think even the quality was not lower, but it was very cheap. And then the people were starting to say, okay, if it's that cheap, I can buy something every year and then every 2 months and so on. That's on the men's side. I think on the women's side, it was even more fast. It was like, okay, I'm now in the summer, I buy something and I wear it once or twice and then I throw it away. In the past, before that, if some women bought a really expensive coat, for example, the old women I know, they bought coats and they have them in their closet until they die, more or less. This was a very expensive thing they bought and they used it for the following life. That was slow fashion. So we were on the break there. So the articles had this quality. And even if there was some breakage or something broken, then we, even in Europe, went to the tailor and then they repaired it and then it was used again. So this is essentially slow fashion. I think it comes back. The thing is, I have to say, at the moment, if I buy something, I don't want it to break. I want to use it essentially also for all of my life. But the thing is, if I buy something, it doesn't stay like this. It will break down very fast, most of it. And that's the thing which is quite frustrating, because when I know that in the old times, the fashion was, the textiles were staying there forever. And now I hope the T-shirt doesn't lose its consistency in, let's say, 1 or 2 years. Then it's that thin that you cannot use it again. And I don't like it, I have to say.
And you can imagine the old time, the fashion company, normally they will have 4 series, like fall, winter, spring, and summer. But the fast fashion, they have new series every week.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how fast the fashion compared to the slow fashion.
Yeah.
The main purpose is make you buy more and create more trash.
Yeah, it's not a big of a problem. That's a consumer problem, but the quality has to be the same. I think if the quality is that cheap that you cannot wear it more than once or twice, that's really a problem. You cannot buy anything that lasts longer. That's, I think, also a big problem. So the quality went down and down and down of the stuff that could be bought, and then the consumer cannot be blamed. If the consumer want to buy every week new stuff, then it's more or less a consumer problem. But if you cannot buy anything which has the quality, or even if you buy expensive stuff, some sneakers, let's say, which are very expensive, probably produced for 10 euros max and sold for 200 euros, but they will break down after 1 year, for example. That's, I don't know. That's really a really big waste. And most of the money then goes to marketing and big sports and so on. I think the money should more go to the producing industry and not that much to marketing. This is a problem. Yeah.
Environmental footprint different between $10 t-shirt and a slow fashion tee.
That's quite easy because probably the same amount of color, the same amount of dyes and so on have to be used, and a similar amount of material also has to be used, only in smaller quality for the fast fashion t-shirt. Also a similar amount of work and CO2 production, and the one is used once and the other is used for years. Then you can easily calculate that, of course, the slow fashion uses that much less resources and doesn't pollute the environment that far, that's that big, let's say. So fast fashion is at the end, it's wear to waste. So you can just wear it, throw it away, but this part used resources. And this is not, that's very unsustainable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, we are not 100% can tell that slow fashion is good because they might just overcharge. They use the same fast fashion way to produce slow fashion overcharging. But for sure that fast fashion is cheap, there must be a way to make it that cheap. I would say 90% or even 99% fast fashion is bad for the environment.
Yeah. So I know that like H&M and Shein, Shein, right?
Shein.
They do a lot of they changing style every week.
Oh, Shein is almost every day.
Every day?
Yes.
Oh,
because Shein is copy the styles. So they don't have to do any design. Shein has almost has a new collection every day.
Not sustainable. It's for sure.
I'm very curious about if they continue to create a new thing, how the old clothes, what they're gonna do with it.
It's also a good question. I know that in the past, sometimes the old clothes was thrown away. If it's too old, even so, it wouldn't even used once because it's out of fashion. But that was also the case for slower fashion. I know if you have summer clothes, if you have summer design in fall still there, then they try to sell it off. But if they don't sell it off, they will throw it away. That's because next year it's old fashion and nobody will buy it. And that's of course, or maybe they don't throw it away. Maybe they give it to poorer countries. That would be the best, probably. But I think a lot of the stuff is thrown away.
Yeah, true. Slow fashion has the same problems. But Helen, you talk about Shein. Well, I've learned Shein has a little bit different way to run their business because they don't own their shops. They don't need the inventory. They work with a lot of small factories in China. So once they have order from their apps, they will place order to the factory. Basically, they have a rule. The factory has to make that order within 8 hours or something, and then they will deliver it. So basically, they don't have inventories. They just make it right away. So in a way, it's good because they don't have that much inventory, less trash. But how they make it that cheap, that will be the materials, how much they pay for the labor is not sustainable.